Hilary Cox, softball, class of 2012. Head softball coach Mike Davenport stated, Hilary Cox represents the absolute best of the North Georgia softball program. One of the best players to ever wear the North Georgia uniform on the field of play, but it is what Hilary meant to our program and continues to mean to our program that is irreplaceable. Hilary Cox made her mark on North Georgia softball from the time she arrived on campus in the fall of 2008. She sits third in the record books for career fielding percentage at .994, that's 304, 27, and 2, and in 2011 was named an NFCA All-America Scholar Athlete, the only one on the team to be named that season. She was named to the D2 CCA All-Region Second Team in 2012, the NFCA All-Region First Team in 2011 and 2012, and was named to the NCAA Division II Championship All-Tournament Team 3 times from 2010 through 2012. Hilary's work off the field and service to the NCAA is just as notable as her performance on the field. Former North Georgia Athletic Director Lindsay Reeves said of her service to the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, Hilary was a leader on the field, in the classroom, and for the entire student-athlete community. She was a phenomenal ambassador for NCAA Division II and has continued to excel in the field of athletic administration. Hilary served in a leadership role on the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, which led her to serve as Division II National Peach Belt Conference representative and eventually the Division II National Student Athlete Advisory Committee chair in her third and final year. Since graduating, Hilary has remained connected to North Georgia by serving as a board member for the Nighthawks Athletic Club. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. What an exciting group. What a wonderful class to be a part of here in the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to go back to the standard question of what was it like when you first were notified of your induction?
Well, Lindsay called me, and if I didn't say this to her, I surely thought it. I thought, Lindsay, do you have the right number? Like, do you know who you're calling? And it took me a second, and then I think it kind of hit me afterwards exactly what was going on. But at first, Lindsay and I have stayed in touch, so I had a missed call from her. And I was like, oh, okay. I called her back, I think a day or two later. I just had some stuff going on, and sorry, Lindsay, it took me so long to call you back.
Obviously, your time here was as part of a program that has established an unbelievable tradition of excellence. And the man at the helm, Coach Davenport, I'm always curious to know what it's like for a player to play for Coach Davenport. Have to be some stories there somewhere.
Yeah, the statute of limitations have probably gone up by this point. I did tell him I had some funny stories, but some of my favorite stories are just things that kind of happen off the field. We were at Cece's Pizza, and one of the teammates got a pizza that had powdered sugar on it. It was her birthday. Another teammate decided to blow the powdered sugar everywhere, and Coach Davenport got very upset with us, and so he made us pick up the plates and clean Cece's. And the workers were like, it's okay, we'll get it. And we're like, please, no, just let us do it, please. And it took a few years, I think, for Coach to giggle about that. I can't see him now. Hopefully he's laughing. But, yeah, he's the rock. And it's so great because even coming back now, it's the same, right? You still recognize the program, and that's what's so great about it.
Sure. Obviously, during your time here, a versatile athlete, having to play multiple positions. What was that like?
It wasn't by choice. When I got the call, I actually called Coach Davenport, and I shared this story with him for the first time, and we had a chuckle. But my freshman year, I was the only person who could still catch. Our starting catcher got injured, and I'm standing on third base, starting for the first time as a freshman. And I see her get injured, and I say to myself, oh, blank, oh my gosh. And I shared that story with Coach Davenport, and he said, funny enough, he was in the dugout, saw it happen, and thought the same thing because he knew that I was all we had left. So freshman year was tough, trying to learn how to play a position, and catching a Hall of Famer in Sarah Phillips at the time. So,
yeah. Take us back to those teams. Unbelievable success. You were named to the D2 Championship All-Tournament team 3 times. A lot of success during that era. What stands out as you look back as 1 or 2 of the highlights for you?
Gosh, it's, we had really great teams, and it's really hard to win, and it's really hard to win national championships and do what he's done. But, the 51-0 season just kind of sits with you because it was such a crazy ride. And I remember Davo in the beginning is, you're going to lose. Like, you guys need to stick it out. Like, you got to be better. You got to handle your business. He was really hard on us at the beginning of the season. And then as we kept winning, his conversations to us started to change and was basically like, hey, keep doing what you're doing. And, keep doing whatever it is that y'all have going on. So the 51-0 season, and then it's just a ton of little memories. I remember the losses more than I remember the wins that stick with you.
Yeah. Isn't that funny the way it works? But I think that's the case for so many athletes. Let's talk about the transition out of the college era and into postgraduate endeavors. Tell us what you've been up to since.
Yeah, so the plan was for me to stay on and coach with Coach Davenport. And probably the hardest conversation I ever had to have with him was to tell him I wasn't going to stay. I was actually going to go become an administrator. So I decided to go to grad school and have pursued this life of college athletics on the administrative level. I've always had a heart for coaching. That was kind of what always stuck with me. But the skills, I guess, that I have, some would call it, my sister would probably call it the bossiness that I have, but just the skills that I have lend more on the administrative side. And so I've been doing that at the University of South Carolina now for 10 years, and I'm blessed to do that. Sport administrator for softball, so that's such a natural fit for me. So I don't have to do the recruiting and all of that, but I still get to be around the program.
I know that it's rewarding both personally and professionally to be able to make an impact on so many student athletes even to this day. Talk about that.
Because I had so many people that poured into me that it's only fair that I pour into everyone else. And I was laughing with Lindsay up there. Lindsay never told me no. I'd be like, hey, Lindsay, I have this idea. I need a chair, a table, and a golf cart. And she's like, okay, here it is. This is the key to the door. Go unlock it. So, pouring into the athletes now, it's so important, especially in the world that we live in. But if they can have half of the experience that I had, especially here at North Georgia, then that means everything.
I know that for everyone that's being honored here tonight as part of this new class in the Hall of Fame, there are indelible memories that are here, but I know that you value the time that you spent here in Dahlonega and being part of a program that has grown even far beyond your time here. One closing thought that you would want to leave our audience with tonight about the benefit of being a student athlete in college?
Yeah, I would say sitting here today, especially here at North Georgia, Gary and Ben have both shared stories that I can relate to when it comes to the drill field. One of our teammates was like, hey, walk across the drill field, and all of our other teammates were like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then the pickup truck, we were doing our conditioning, running around town and doing a scavenger hunt. And some guy pulled over and he was like, hey, do you guys need a ride to your next spot? We're like, yes. We got in trouble for that. But it's just those stories, it's all relatable, and that's what it means to be here. I'm so grateful for this place. I'm so grateful for what it's done for me. And I wish nothing but the best, and I'm so excited for the future of North Georgia athletics.
And we are grateful for what you have meant to North Georgia athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, Hilary Cox.